All right, let's do it. Another Monday, another controversy. So, I mean, I always forget people. Not everyone's on Twitter. So let's just go through it, talk it out, and see where we're at. Because I'm confused, but, So at the beginning of the show's history, Steve and I got into not even a fight, but, he didn't like, I brought up something involving his parents, so we had it out on Friday or something, right?
Yes.
So we had that on a Friday, and then it was done. And then I really, seemed to me, on my end anyway, the last, was that 8 months ago?
Yeah.
That, kind of, like, there's things that are, there are people in my life that don't want to be discussed on the air, so we don't do it. There are people in Mike's life, he can tell us. We don't, it doesn't, if they don't involve themselves in the show, they don't want to be characters, they don't promote themselves around social media, they're not on Twitter, they're not battling, then I don't care. I mean, if something's interesting that comes up and we want to talk about it, then we could talk about it. But if it's not, I don't think we've really talked about it since.
Well, I mean, a few songs, but no, not really.
No. I didn't.
Yeah, I know.
It's never been discussed.
You put the songs. I mean, the songs go through you.
Yeah, they do.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's been not seen or has been seen about the songs. I have no idea. But I mean, it's not been a topic of discussion. I don't think at all. Maybe a throwaway joke about how it's not talked about.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it comes to my attention yesterday, the early Kirk Min Twitter account messages me and says, hey, just so you know, we were looking for something. I don't know how this happened. And we can't find this audio. It's been scrubbed. And I thought, well, it's interesting. I didn't know. And I really didn't know. I had no idea. Famously within this universe, don't listen to the shows when they're done. And I don't like the sound of my voice, and I did it. I was here, so it doesn't do me a lot of good. I don't listen to old stuff from my old show. I don't, people bring things up to me, and I don't even remember them. I don't know. Well, I'll get to that and something else in a second. But so I sent the tweet to Steve, and basically it was that there were whatever. I don't know how long are we talking about?
5 minutes or something, they said, right?
Yeah, I think it was about 5 minutes.
5 minutes was scrubbed out. That was Steve. It was talking about that situation involving his folks, I guess, and that was gone. How this was found, I don't know, but I've given up, as we should all, thinking that nothing's going to be found that we do or talk. This is just a part of it. I mean, this is what we do, So I sent the message to Steve, and he called me back right away and said, yep. Well, go ahead. You can try and explain it.
Yeah, I mean, it was me. It was like the first week or maybe the second week of us doing the podcast. And after it happened, I felt really shitty about what I'd said about my family. And I went back and scrubbed it. And I guess maybe we didn't know each other that well enough. I mean, now if I ever wanted to do something like that, I don't think I'd have that impulse, but I would ask. But I went back and I scrubbed it without asking.
Yeah. So, yeah. Again, not to my, we didn't talk to me about it back then.
No.
Right. So you did that. I was thinking initially that you did it, even when we communicated briefly yesterday afternoon, that you did it on that, let's call it Thursday before we had the fight, but you did it after that Friday show.
I think it might have been before. I'm not sure of the exact timeline.
Okay.
It was somewhere in that week.
Okay. So I thought about it at first because I thought, well, maybe I think I just didn't understand it properly for a while. And I thought about it. And I agree. I don't think you would do that today. And even if you did that today, because occasionally things will happen when the show's over. And we say, almost every day, we say, what do you think about this? Should this be in here? Something happened on Friday's show where I went in there and said, you should take that out. It doesn't do you any good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and if you had said that to me, even then, I would have said, fine. I don't want you to be uncomfortable about something involving your family. I really don't. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is that it was, lying, and it was sort of duplicit. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me wonder, and you might as well be honest now. Don't lie now, because they're going to look. Have you done it about anything else?
Not without your knowledge. No.
No,
it's only stuff where Erica has asked or where you have asked or, that's it.
Right.
There was like the very recent example where Erica asked.
Which was that? Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes.
And there was one example before Foxwoods when we just posted raw audio instead of the edited audio.
Right, but that wasn't.
But
even,
you were in on that.
That wasn't even right. That was a mistake.
No, but I mean, they can go back and look. No, that's the only.
But that
example.
was a mistake. Yeah. And the Erica thing was involving a potential sale, which we said something totally sarcastic that.
Yeah, taken out of context.
Which I think she recognized then was sarcasm
But if you transcribed it could look bad.
Right. No big deal. It was us making fun of something, gambling something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally minimal. Believe me, I know this will freak the Minifans out. Trust me. No big deal. They leave us alone. That is not a big deal. It was right around the sale, and they were freaking out about everything. That was not a big deal. But it just makes, I don't know, like it just makes me uncomfortable thinking, I think, and I'm not, this is not an ego thing. I think of each show as like a novel in a way. Maybe some suck, maybe some are great, but I hand them over and we go over what's in there and what's not, and it's mine. It's not yours. It's not Mike's. It's mine. And I suppose the listeners too, but I have total, I thought, creative control over the show. That every syllable is because I let it be in the show. And the idea that somebody goes in there and takes it out, I think you have as much right to take that out without me knowing as the person living in that house over there.
I agree.
I'm just being honest. Like
I had no right to do it.
I don't, and I understand where it's coming from, and I really do, and I understand that you feel bad about it. But I just don't, and I understand we didn't know each other as well as we know each other now, and I view you as I've said it, the best coworker I've ever had, whether it's on air, producer, salesperson, or management, or anything, and I view this in a lot of ways as a partnership. You do so much behind the scenes, and you mean so much to the show and to me professionally and personally now that, and like, I get upset when I see that, and I don't want you to think that this is, you're incredibly valuable to the show. You mean a lot to us, and like I said, it's not quite a partnership, obviously, but it's about as close as I'm going to get. Certainly, business-wise, you pretty much run the ship. But I think of that. I think if you going in there and sneaking and doing it just seems sneaky and shitty, and it pisses me off. It just pisses me off.
Yeah, I mean, it was shitty, and I'm sorry I let you down. I let the Minifans down.
Well, it's not,
I mean, what you do is it's your own unique artwork, and I don't have the right to go in and deface it like that. And in retrospect, it was stupid. It changed nothing.
That's the other thing.
Didn't make anything better.
I don't get I get that it was an uncomfortable conversation. I get it's part of your life you don't want to talk about. I don't care. It's fine. Like that's not a big deal to me. But and part of it, I think I have to look at introspectively, and I know I create tension in the place where sometimes people can't feel comfortable doing those things without asking me. I do think now, if it came up, you might ask me. Maybe not. Maybe it'd still be like, oh, he's going to call me a pussy on the air. I have no idea. I don't even know.
I think Steve in June is way different
I agree.
than Steve now.
Oh, I agree with that. But now maybe he's thinking, well, I need to be the guy who now going forward after this is going to be like, well, now if I feel like I'm uncomfortable about it, he's going to, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the decision to do it was born out of panic and a kind of stress that I'd never really experienced before, having that like part of my life dragged into a show. It was so new for me. So it was bad judgment, and I wasn't thinking right, and it was selfish. But
I just don't get it. I mean, you've explained it.
I don't either in retrospect.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know I don't know what the upside of it is. Like,
there was none. Like,
I mean, nobody's gonna, So how did this get discovered? What happened? I don't even know the backstory. So the guy reached.
Menners was calling me a scumbag for what I did to my parents, and so they went to go back and look for the audio to rub my nose in it.
Right,
couldn't find it. So
all right,
the Australian guy got me.
He got you. Well, yeah. I don't know. Where are you at on it, Mike?
I mean, if Steve came in, and this is pretty much exactly what I expected. If Steve came in and said, I did this 3 weeks ago, I would have been stunned. But like I said, that doesn't surprise me that in that
I don't think it makes it.
I don't think he's a different guy. I don't think he got the show back then as much, nearly as much as he does now.
I don't think it makes it any better that it happened. I think a crime like that in this universe is a crime. Whether it happened yesterday or the first day,
it is.
It's a producer doing something. I mean, if you had gotten that drunk the first weekend we did a show, and I told you not to do it, versus it doesn't. I don't think that mattered. I think it's all. I honestly think in a lot of ways what Steve did is terrible as what you did. In a lot of ways, I think what Steve did is worse. Truthfully, in a lot of ways, not as bad, but in a lot of ways worse because what you did is there's nothing malicious.
I don't know that I do agree that the fact that it was in June doesn't matter because he was coming from a place. Maybe that happened with Howie Carr all the time.
If you run over somebody and you're a little bit drunk, or you run over somebody and you're a lot drunk, it doesn't matter to me.
I view it as different because he's learned. Like, I don't see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see him doing that now, and I think that does make a difference.
Well, I don't think you would either. I agree with that.
You use the word malicious. I don't think there was anything malicious about what I was doing.
Well,
I wasn't trying to
right,
harm you.
Right, that's
or
not the right word.
business or
That's not the right word. Duplicitous?
That's fair.
Yeah, that's probably the word I'm looking for. And it was done. Put it this way: you went and did something and said, "I'm going to get away with it," and the boss is not going to know about it.
That's fair. Yeah.
I mean, I don't. And like, I don't know how many times these things can happen, and I get mad, and we can do 2 hours of phone calls. I don't want to do that. Yell and scream. I don't want to do that. False punishment. I don't want to do that. So I don't. I'm not sure. Like, it's just sort of. It's just, again, these are not end of the world things, but I see this, and I just think I think it's worse than what you did in the ways that. He thought it out. You didn't sit there all day and you're like, I'm going to get really drunk and piss Kirk off and fuck it up. You fucked it up, but you fucked it up in a different way.
Right. I really didn't think it out that much. It was just in a moment of panic. I was like, I got to go fix it. It took me 10 minutes.
Were you drunk when you did it?
No.
That's what I mean. So, I mean, you made a clear choice. You didn't reach out to your boss and say, hey, I'm going to do this. Now, part of that, I totally admit, is on me. That's part of my lack of leadership, or however I run a ship, is that, I create tension, and with that tension sometimes, and I grew up in an environment like this with my dad, which is when tension was around, you would do things like I was called hide my report card. And if you hide your report card long enough, like I would do in 5th and 6th grade when I would get a C+ in penmanship instead of a B in penmanship, if I hid my report card long enough, maybe he'd forget about it. Well, they never forgot about it. And the Minifans are essentially now my dad in this situation, or me, which is that, they're going to find out. And it just seems like a fucking Mickey Mouse nickel operation for no reason. It's like breaking into the Watergate Hotel. It just doesn't make any sense.
There's no unheard, because I wasn't on the show then. There's no unheard, like what I heard as a listener is what was taken out.
I have no idea.
Yes. No, the audio that the 90% of people who listened to that first podcast heard was unedited. It was several days after the fact.
Okay. So that's what's weird to me almost now, that anytime we've made the joke, you've known, like, if we went back and found it, there's no one could find it now.
But most of it was left in. Yeah. I think I haven't heard exactly what was cut out since, because I haven't thought of it since that week. But
right.
The joke still makes sense based on what's in there right now.
And I totally understand from Steve's end. Steve's thinking, this guy, like, I actually get it. I don't really know this guy. I haven't worked with this guy. This guy
kill me if I ask.
This guy is way different than anything I've ever worked with. This is a conversation I've never had on the air. I don't want to have it anymore, but I don't want to tell this guy that, because he's now going to go on the air and call me out for saying I don't want to talk about it on the air. And then what do I do? And now I'm in this fucking endless cycle. So it may be just easier if I go in and snip it. But the weird thing about that is, like, when you don't say anything to me about it, that doesn't mean, like, if you just said to me, and again, I understand it's not easy, then it wouldn't have mattered at all. Like, the idea of me coming out and talking to you about this thing didn't go away.
Yeah, no, in retrospect.
You know what I'm saying? Or
yeah, no? I do know what you're saying. I mean, and also it was my decision entirely to volunteer the information that I volunteered.
Kind of. It's hard. It's a hard room. I'm not.
It was our first show together, and I didn't want to be like a cold fish.
It's a hard room. I get that.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I handled it poorly. And it sucks. And I guess the only thing I would say is that I hope that everything that's happened in the 8 months since then, I guess, weighs in my favor and not undermining the trust that you have in me, the faith that you have in me.
No, I mean,
continue doing this.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, I want to believe you, but I don't know. Now somebody's going to, they're going to dig now, and they're going to, what if I get a tweet today, 3 months ago, you guys were talking about this, and it's not there anymore. You're promising me that's not going to happen.
Yeah, nothing after the fact has been taken out, no.
Yeah.
Except without you knowing about it.
Well, that's all.
Like, timestamps might not match up, but
right. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. And there are, like I said, every single day, almost every single day, we have a conversation that says, hey, you comfortable with this? How about you? You go with this? Should we do that? Should we leave that? Should we not do that? And usually the answer is just leave it. Sometimes it's not.
And it's usually some word, or it's very rarely a conversation, right?
Yeah, almost never.
Yeah. The only time we clipped out an entire conversation was the day we had our blow up. We nixed some debate talk.
Oh, yeah.
Who, you and I?
Yes. That Friday.
We did a debate segment before.
It was Mike's first or second show. We did some terse, debate thing before we started fighting.
What debate?
We just scrapped it.
Like
it was some political talk,
one of the first Democratic debates over the summer.
Really? Ham over the
Yeah,
summer?
yeah. No, or maybe it was just political talk. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah. So, I'm not really sure where. Yeah, it's strange. I mean, because let me do Milton's first, and then did I bring my glasses? Okay. All right, Milton's end of the season warehouse sale has started. Save up to 70% off fall suits, sport coats, pants, coats, sweaters. Stuff's going to sell out fast. As fast as Wilbur? Maybe not, but pretty close. They have all of today's most popular brands on sale. You know them. Michael Kors, Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, Hugo Boss. They're all on sale. You'll find great deals on impeccably styled dress shirts, ties, and shoes. Suits start under $100. Sport coats and winter coats start at just $49.99, under $50. Sweaters under $15. Favorite sportswear brands like Tommy Bahama, Johnny O, Vineyard Vines are warehouse sale prices. Go to one of their stores. You know them, South Shore Plaza, Braintree, Chestnut Hill Square, Chestnut Hill. If you're not from around here, or if you're from around here and you don't feel like trekking in, shop online. Go to Miltons.com. Check out their warehouse sale page before everything is gone. At Milton's, you'll be as comfortable in our stores as you'll be in our clothes. Again, South Shore Plaza, Braintree, Chestnut Hill Square, Chestnut Hill. Online at Miltons.com. Milton's going to play a big role here for us over the next couple of months, so be ready. I saw a couple people tweeting this weekend about Milton's. That's great. Love the people there. Go to Miltons.com. Do that today. Get ready for the Wilbur. Get ready for the spring, by the way, as well. And save up to 70% on fall suits, sport coats, pants, coats, and sweaters. Might as well get them now. I know winter's kind of wrapping up, but believe me, next winter it's going to be nice to have a great deal on an awesome fall suit or sport coat. So do that right now, Miltons.com, or the two stores in Massachusetts. So do that again, Miltons.com, our great friends. Yeah, it's just sort of, like the thing a couple of weeks, the thing with the Red Sox Periscope thing, I don't care about that. The thing with Mike I cared about, the thing with this I cared about, and it's just sort of why can't, we're getting rolling. Do we need this to fucking root? Like, it just, to me, it annoys me and gets my fucking head and just pisses me off. And, the idea of Steve going in there kind of, clandestine and cutting shit out without me knowing about it. This is my life, this show. Like, this is my professional life. This show just pisses me off. It frustrates me. And I'm not sure what to do. I am actually not sure what to do about it. So,
well, it's weird because it's like we caught him in a different life. Because like we both said, I don't think he would do it now.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse, but it's
not an excuse. I'm just telling you, it's not. I mean, just telling you. I reject that line of thinking. I understand it. I understand it's correct, but I reject it would be like,
I guess I'm saying any punishment has already been curbed. Like, he's never going to do that again, I don't think. So, you know what I mean? It's a weird to react to because we're reacting to something that wouldn't happen now.
Well, I guess. I mean, I don't know that. I hope so. I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're going to show up drunk. It's like, I don't know. I think you won't. I think Steve won't, but I don't know. And it's kind of, I don't want to do this thing like today. I see people tweeting like, "Oh, you're in Iran." Like, I don't want to do that. I have no interest because I thought the other thing was funny in a way because it was just funny how oblivious Steve was to what I wanted to do. That was not a big deal to me.
Yeah.
I really don't care. When Steve, believe me, I know I can be a pain in the ass boss. I have no doubt about that. But stuff like basic human error, I always think of that 4-hour show when we were the first one, and Steve was like, "Oh, I think I lost it." Mm-hmm. I didn't care. I actually didn't care. I was like, "Oh, whatever. If you lost it, you lost it. This is not. It's he does a great job, and he does a great job." And I saw people celebrating. Oh, great. A lot of people. Steve's very divisive figure. A lot of people are like, "Shit, we can't lose him," which I agree with. And there are other people who are like, "Oh, good riddance. He's a fucking asshole." Well, and then there were people who said, "Well, Kirk, you never listened to the show anyway. It doesn't matter." It's like, well, what kind of argument is that? I mean, again, I'm not comparing myself to these people, but I'm guessing, F. Scott Fitzgerald didn't go back and read his books every day.
No, yeah. If you found out that half the stuff had been cut out, that would probably be a big deal.
Sure, I wouldn't even know
whether you listen or not.
Yeah. I don't even know when the show started. When did the show start? June 15th or whatever. 17th. August 23rd show. I have no fucking idea I don't know what the show was about. Last Wednesday. Remember last Friday we fought over the town, but that's like I couldn't tell you about the day before. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. The week before we did some stuff with you and I don't know what the show was a month ago. I have no idea. We were in Miami maybe. No, I don't even know. I don't even know. Yeah.
I guess it's the tough thing is now you wonder every show. But again,
Of course I do. I mean, I don't.
But I go through it enough and there's no it doesn't exist that anything's been cut out. So I don't know. I guess we can say, will he do it again? But it's just it hasn't happened since. I don't know. It's a weird spot because it happened so long ago. and I don't think it would happen again.
Well, it didn't happen 6 years ago.
But it feels it feels like it does. Like that feels like a different world.
Sure, but again, so you own a company, right?
Yeah.
I own this show in a lot of ways. Barstool does as well, but I have, as Steve does and as you do, a financial stake in the show. It also has my name on it.
Mm-hmm.
You can edit out that guy, Steve, later or no? Fucking the guy working outside. So I take it personally, and if you own any business, let's say the guy out there, I don't know if is that a private business? Probably not, right?
Probably a contractor, a private contractor with the city.
Guy finds out this guy he works with is awesome, loves him. He's his best guy.
Yeah.
Finds out 7 years ago he stole a couple $100 from him.
Right.
Is he gonna be like, maybe?
Well, he was stealing from whoever he sleuthed in DC.
No, but I'm saying, right. But I'm saying, whatever. You find out that somebody committed a crime, and again, in this world, you'd agree, Steve. In this world, that's a crime.
It's a felony.
Yeah, in this world, that's not real, obviously. But you find out somebody did it 8 years ago. Are they any less innocent because they've suddenly turned their life? I can't think like that. I know what you're saying.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
I know what you're saying, and I believe me. I know Steve feels bad about it, but it's not even. I swear to God, it's not that he did it. It's just he didn't tell me.
Yeah.
He went and did it without me knowing, and I understand it was very early on, and we didn't know each other. But that's not. In some ways, that's almost worse because that's how you're starting your job.
I guess, but when you're starting, you're also more nervous that you're going to fuck up, and it's a whole. Now he's.
Well, to me, you can make the case, and I understand I'm different than most bosses. You can make the case at that point. You should be telling your boss everything that you're doing.
Right.
Everything that you're doing. And I think when it comes from a punishment stage, I've been too easy. You should have been suspended for a week. Sure. You should have been. I mean, I don't, and this happened after your thing, which isn't fair in a lot of ways because it actually happened before it, but it happened after. So it's sort of, I don't know, we're building something I think pretty fucking special here, the three of us, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You see it all the time, and the proof of it is now endless. That I don't want this shit to get in the way of it. I just don't. And part of it's on me. I want to be able to foster an environment where somebody come up to me and say, hey, I don't feel comfortable about this, without being worried that A, I'm going to say, fuck you, or B, I'm not going to bring it on the show the next day. I can't promise that's going to happen. I mean, that's just not the way the show operates, which is something else maybe I should look at. But then I'm thinking about maybe change. Then if I do that, I'm thinking about changing the tone and tenor of a show that I just said 30 seconds ago is getting bigger and bigger. I think in huge part because of the tone and tenor of the show.
Right.
Almost entirely because of the tone and tenor of the show. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm frustrated and confused, and I don't really know what to do with all that. So
it's a weird situation.
Yeah, well, it's just a strange. It's not. Again, if you explain it to somebody, well, I don't understand. Why is that a big deal? Well, it kind of is a big deal.
Sure.
It's just a big deal. It's done. It's my property. It's done without. It's done without me knowing it. So it's sort of unnerving to me, and it's unnerving to me that Steve would do. It's weird, also that so we have this stronger relationship now. I'm not sure why you haven't told me subsequently.
I really never thought about it.
Never crossed your mind since then?
It's never crossed my mind until I saw the tweet.
That seems strange to me. I don't know.
Just wasn't. I mean, I do a lot of editing on shows, and this was the one.
But
this is the first one. Yeah, this was
big.
This is different.
The first one. A show. I mean,
this is the first one that I went back. But I mean, that entire week for me had a little bit more trauma than just going back and editing that out. And I mean, obviously, I thought about it a lot over the weekend after we had the conversation, but I didn't. I had never thought about it since then.
Not even when whether it's doing the best of or if there's a joke made or something, you've never thought oh shit, what if he asks me for that audio? You know what I mean?
No. No. I didn't think about it even when I clipped it for the best ofs, no.
What would you have said if I had asked you for that?
Well, I mean, specifically, if I'd gone back and looked for it and couldn't find it, then I would have been like, oh shit, I remember now, I deleted that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. It's odd situation. One of these things only happens on our show, I think. Because we talk about so much stuff. So, and I do understand that Steve didn't want to talk about that. And like I said, I respect that. I don't really, makes him uncomfortable. I don't have a big desire to talk, It's not, put it this way. His parents are not active on social media, and they're not doing shows on our YouTube channel, and they're not, they're living their life. They don't care about us, so we don't care about. They're not part of it. Right. When you're part of it, it's different. When you're not part of it, you're not part of it. I don't care. My brothers are active on it, so they're around. They're on the show, on Twitter. So they're part of it. There are others who are not part of it. That's how it works. So I don't really care. I heard Mike the other night, Mike and the Minifans, at the end of the show. Somebody asked him about his girlfriend Alba being on Mike on the Lady Minifans show. He's like, I don't really know. And my advice would probably be no, but it's none of my business.
I advised against.
But if she wants to do it, great. But
right.
When she does that, then like when you agree to do stuff like that, then to me everything's in play. Parody songs, and,
right, exactly.
Gifts of TJ Hubbard jumping off a diving board and between her legs, like that becomes all like,
Right.
But if she says no, then she says no, like, I don't talk about her.
Right.
Really? Like once in a while I'll ask her about a date or something.
No, and even when she comes up, it's more like it's just my girlfriend, not her,
But once you do that, then that's just, then you open yourself up to social media and then the ball game's over.
So I guess after that first week, there was an explosion of parody accounts named after my parents, after my brother, and I thought that I had made them part of the world without their consent.
Right, which has gone away largely.
It has, but I mean,
even your brother is not actually he's just now not
rarely
really
referenced.
And when he is, it's not you do understand that this is
it's reality. It's life.
No, it's not actually reality. I don't, I think pretty sure your brother fought in the war. It's not. I mean, but it's all not. I mean, we don't have to have this conversation.
No.
On February 24th.
The reason why it's funny is because it's absurd.
Right. That's why, when I hear people say sometimes, oh, it's not funny to make fun of rape with songs about rape. Well, we don't think rape is funny.
No.
We're making fun of, a matter of fact, just the opposite. We're making fun of an organization that doesn't care about it.
And it's we almost have a better understanding of how it's not funny because we're making it so ridiculous.
That's called satire.
Right.
That's being satirical because, the Red Sox have allowed it to happen time and time again and don't care. That's why it's funny. That's the humor in it. But anyway.
Jokes are always funny when you have to break down why
it's
they're
just
funny.
Jesus Christ. I mean, so, but no, I get that. And I get that. And that's that's different than any universe you've ever been in before.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, the original sin was not telling you about it. There's nothing I can do to go back in time and change that.
Right. No, and I understand where you're coming from. I don't think it was, like I said, malicious is not the right word. And I do understand. I think you feel bad, and I think you're a huge part of the show, and you will be going forward and all that. Of course, of that, there's no question. But there's been enough of these little things have happened without any punishment where, like I said, I should have suspended Mike. I didn't. That was a mistake on my part as a leader, and I need to work on that and get better at that. Mike really fucked up, and I said, it won't happen again. He felt bad about it. That's not reason enough. It's just not. That's not.
Right.
That doesn't mean whether true or not doesn't matter to me. I think it won't happen again. I have very little doubt that it won't happen again. But I have to punish you, so I think I'm going to have to suspend you. I think I'm going to say maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
So, I think I talked to Matt yesterday. He's going to come in. At least he said he'd be ready if needed. So, I think we'll do at least the 3 days and see where we're doing. I just feel like, I feel like sitting here and saying, well, you're a great guy. No, you're great. It doesn't, there has to be, whether it was the first minute of the show, whether it was the last minute of the Friday show, I feel like I have to treat everything the same while understanding it's not the same, if that makes sense. And and maybe it may cause you to think that you won't be part of the show anymore. I hope not.
No, I don't think it will.
Good. So, so I would just say, anything show related for the next couple of days. If I were you, curb it until at least Friday, and then we'll sort of reevaluate that and see where we are, if that makes sense.
All right. What about the business side stuff?
I was going to say it's tough to when
I
you
agree.
suspend Steve. How do you suspend him exactly?
I agree. I would say that you probably check in with me if you want, and I can handle that stuff. If you want to make calls, I'll make them.
Okay.
And Matt knows how to upload the show and everything?
I assume he does.
I think he does.
I think he does, yeah. And I'll talk to Barstool about that side of it stuff, the suspension side of it as well. Clear with them. And we'll start over tomorrow. We have a bunch of stuff to do with Matt, so we'll do that then.
This was pretty reprehensible. I don't know how it can be anybody's idea of humor